On this episode of Scotty's Garage, we're going to remove the surface rust from the engine bay using this. It's made in Australia. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In the interest of full disclosure, I actually wasn't planning on doing a surface rust removal episode. I was going to continue on with our roof stuff, removing the dents from the roof, and I bought a special tool that's on its way, but it hasn't arrived yet. Australia Post really isn't delivering at the moment, are they? So anyway, it's not here. So I thought, well, why don't we do some rust removal? I mean, there's plenty to do on this car. And a few weeks ago, when I did that, removing the surface rust of the roof of the wagon, the guys from Oxytech saw that and said, why don't you try our product? It's developed and manufactured right here in Australia, and we guarantee it'll work better than what you're using right now. And I'm like, well, I'd love to try it. So they've sent out a bottle of their Antiox. So we're going to try this on the engine bay and see if it lives up to what they reckon. They reckon this stuff will work really good. So let's try it on the engine bay, because there's a lot of surface rust there and it definitely needs removing. Okay, to kick things off, I think we're going to remove the front guards just to make it easier to get in there at the engine bay to let us get closer. So let's do that. Actually, this one doesn't even look like it's bolted on. Hey, it's not. That makes it easy. So as I mentioned before, the product we're using today is Antiox from Oxytech. They're based up there in Sydney. Now, I'm going to follow their instructions. It says, for heavy rust on raw steel, use Antiox undiluted and scrub into the surface using wire brush. Several applications may be required to move the heavy scale. I don't know, is this heavy rust or medium to light? I'm going to call it heavy. So we'll go in undiluted to start off with, but they reckon this stuff will work quite well with a 1 to 10 ratio of dilution. So 1 part this and 10 parts water. So, which sounds pretty amazing. But anyway, we'll give it a try undiluted first. We'll see how we go. I've already washed out my container, so this will be straight Antiox. And we'll brush it onto the guards. See what happens. As with the stuff we used before, hand protection, eye protection, use old clothes. All right, let's brush some of this on. I don't know if you can tell, but where I've brushed here first, there's definitely a line of material that is shinier than the material back here. So that's pretty gratifying. All right, let's get a scour out and give it a scrub. A little bit more fluid on it. Make sure it's not dry. Okay, so I forgot to put a timer on it, but I think we're about 20 minutes later, and you can see the difference is night and day. I mean, look at this side, look at that side. They were about equal in terms of rust. So yeah, it has worked pretty good, I reckon. So what we're going to do is whack a wet cloth over there, a wet sponge. give it a bit of dilute. I've also painted a bit up here. We'll give that a quick scrub. But yeah, the results are looking pretty good, I've got to say. So yeah, let's dilute it, have a look at what we're seeing right then, and see if we give it another coat or whether we go straight to a sander. I think we can all agree that is a pretty good result. I don't know if I see any point to going over it again. I don't know. I guess it can't hurt. Let's try. Let's see if we can make it even better. But if it makes no difference doing a second coat on this side, on that side I will just go straight to the sander. But yeah, we'll give it a second coat, see what happens. I'm going to put the timer on it this time. This time I'm just going to paint it on and let it sit for about 10 minutes. All right, timer starts now. I figure while this side is doing its thing, I might as well put some on that side and let it get a start as well. Don't worry, I just realised that I had my eye protection up on top of my head the entire time. Does me no good up there. Right, after about 15 minutes you can see this side is slightly better. I don't know if it was worth going the second coat or not. That side is definitely changed. I'm going to have to give it a bit of a scrub now. But yeah, we'll dilute this side. We'll scrub that side. Just keep going with it because yeah, this stuff is working pretty good. So I've given the floor a quick mop just to neutralise any remaining acid off the floor, but I think we can conclusively say that the Oxytech stuff does work really well. I think now we break out the sanding discs and bring it back to shiny bare metal, and I'll show you their other product. So once again I'm going to use our little Ryobi sander there. It's got some 60 grit on it, eye and ear protection and some breathing protection as well. So get this in the right order. And away we go. So that's a pretty good start. Obviously the sander is pretty good for large flat areas, but there's a lot of angle changes in these inner guards. It goes from there to there to there. So for the crevices, we're going to have to get the wire brush in there. Get down and dirty, which means I'll probably have to climb into the engine bay. So let's get started. Now the battery on my microphone is about to go flat, so let's talk about the other product that Oxytech sent us, which was this Easy Foss. So this seals raw steel. So basically if you spray it on bare metal, it'll prevent rusting. So that'll be perfect for when I strip all this, finish stripping all this back to actual bare metal. We're going to coat it in this stuff, and apparently it is like you won't even have to remove it. Like it'll stay on there, it'll stop rusting, and you can paint straight over it. So that sounds like a good deal to me. So yeah, we'll finish stripping back the rest of this engine bay, and then we'll coat it in the Easy Foss, and hopefully we should never have to do this again. That's the plan. But anyway, as I said, microphone's about to die, so let's get to stripping. Well, that is a pretty good effort, I think. I'm only about halfway done on this engine bay, but that's not really a problem. This is about 5 hours work, including filming, and filming makes everything take longer, I've got to say. But yeah, 5 hours, and you know, you saw what the engine bay looked like to start off with. It was a mess. It was absolutely covered in surface rust, and now it is, well over half shiny metal. But we're going to have to leave it there for this one, and what I'm going to do is cover it with this Easy Foss, and that will stop it from rusting any further, so that way I can come back and complete the job later. That's the beauty of this stuff, is like we can do stuff like this, shoot it with the Easy Foss, and then, you know, we can come back with a fair expectation there's not going to be any more surface rust on this thing. So the instructions on the can say shake for 30 seconds and spray in easy strokes. It also says Easy Foss doesn't need to be removed prior to welding, priming or painting, which is very cool. So for clean or newly media blasted metal, apply a light even coat of Easy Foss to the desired area and allow it to dry, which only takes 3 to 5 minutes. So let's give it a shake. Oh, I'm tired already. Let's see how we go. Ooh, makes it look all shiny. Oh, smells good too. Wow. Oh, that smells so good. So we're going to leave it there for this episode. I've got to say it's been a very productive day's work. I'm really happy with how much surface rust we've removed from this engine bay. It's looking amazing. Compared to what we started, it was ugly and brown and just covered in surface rust. Now it is shiny and new, looks amazing. The Oxytech products obviously work really well. So like I said, developed and made here in Australia. So support Australia. Jump on the Oxytech website. You can order Antiox and Easy Foss from the website. They have some other products as well. But yeah, jump on there, have a look, and order yours today. But I'm really happy with this, you know, so I'll definitely be using them again. I'm going to order some more Easy Foss, I think, because it smells awesome. I wish we had smell-o-vision, you know. It does smell awesome, and I've poured it on, so this stuff's definitely not rusting. But that's awesome that you can, you know, work on something, because we don't always have a lot of time to push in on a project. You know, we can't always spend multiple days on something. Today I only had a few hours to spend, so I'm in here, smashed it out, and now I can protect it with the Easy Foss, and I can come back to it next week and it should be no different. That's what we want. So we'll be back in here next weekend working on the wagon, and you're going to see it all on a future episode of Scotty's Garage.